Good morning, everybody. This is Lila in Hawaii. I'm doing all kinds of little bits and pieces, finishing up some ideas I had a while back. I collect old boxes, and people send me things in boxes. My daughters, I've got 3 daughters. They like to send me little treats and trinkets and all sorts of things. So these are all recycled boxes that I've made just the last week or so. And I'm not finished with the interiors because they are painted and finished in that sense, but they need something in them, because I think the worst thing is when you open a box and there's nothing inside. So I've made the tops, and well, actually I've made the whole box. So this is the first one. This was actually a found box, but it's a paper mache heart box, and on the bottom here I've put a little felt heart, and then some diamantes and so forth. There's a little bit of glitter, and then around the edge of it, I painted the box first, of course, and around the edge I put some old rickrack braid and some lace trim, and so that's going to have I think maybe a rose brooch or something in that, because it's roses on there. This one's a button box, and I already had I had the box, and of course I have jars and jars of buttons, so it's good for me to get rid of some buttons. So this one's a picture of a girl, a little tiny girl, and I put the word courage there, which is a rub-on. Some buttons outside, and this is doily. On the edge of it I've got 2 rows of lace and some pearl trim, and then of course all these have music or some sort of script on the inside. So these are buttons, and then that of course is the inside of the lid. So they're all nicely finished, and they're quite strong by the time you've painted them and put the paper on them. So excuse me for a minute, I have to reposition. I don't know whether you can you hear that? Oh, it's noisy today. Okay, so then this one, as I said, I collect boxes. I just can't throw them out. I like cheese boxes, and this happened to be not a brie cheese box, but a camembert cheese box. And it was sort of an unusual shape. First of all, I did the lid with a couple of pages decoupaged on, some diamante trim, and a little, I guess that's like a little embroidered flower, and then on the edge 2 rows again of lace, and then some gimp with a needle run thread through there. But the inside of this one's kind of different. This was actually plastic in the inside. So there's the inside of the lid. If I can use music, I like to do that. And then the inside of the camembert box was plastic, and the walls are quite squishy almost and thick. So I haven't decided what I'm going to put inside, but meantime I've made a little brooch, and that's just in there to remind me to make something better and bigger for that one. This was a box my daughter sent me. Oh gosh, I think it might have had perfume in. I just loved the box. It had the original box was this part here and this part. So the first thing I did was I put a rose on top, because there was roses here, so the rose motive, and around that I placed torn doilies. Then I covered up, there was writing on the box, so I covered it up on this side with a label, and Je t'aime, and then on this side a Paris label, because this looked very French to me. And then the whole thing was wrapped in this trim, which has tiny little pom-poms, looks very French. And then it's a long box that goes like that. So that I covered this. This was all some other material, not this. It was not very nice, so I covered that, and then inside I've put shred. And what I'm going to do is make something tall, and I'm going to add some nice decorative soap as well. And maybe I can't use perfume bottles or perfume because you're not allowed to ship it here from the islands. I don't know about anywhere else, but from the islands you're not. And so I probably will figure out something else. I'm thinking actually of a cuff to go in that. I've been making a lot of my cuffs and brooches and things. So anyway, that's that. So I'll just show you this grouping by picking the camera up. Okay, so there are those. And there's the French one. Well, actually, they all look a bit French to me. And then there's one other box I've made. Doesn't quite go with this group, so I'm going to move these away. This is also a recycled box, and I don't know what was in it, but again, sent to me by a daughter. So this was quite an elaborate process. First of all, I painted the box. The box has one of those lids that sits inside. So I'll pull that out in a minute because I want to show you. So first of all, I painted the whole box white. It was covered in paper, so I tore the paper off and was able to do that. And then I painted it. And also, with the same colors, I painted text from old books and other papers torn up. And here again, other papers with little pieces of doily. The bottom looked like that, and then the ends are like this. And then to distress it further, I actually put some doily on there and covered it with white chalk paint, and then painted the texture that I like, this green and bronzy color. To give it a little glitz, I put some copper colored, what is that, glitter? Kind of a glitter. And then I wrapped it a couple of times with different twines. This is brown twine, white twine. I happen to have this little number plate, and I'd seen that idea somewhere else. I like that. And here I have a little cherub on this end, just to break up really the overall look of it, give it a more together look. And then I thought, the box was empty now. I thought, I'm going to make it into one of those embellishment boxes, which I haven't done yet. But here's the inside of the cover, just to show you how that looks, with the twines wrapped around and some more of my collage of the papers that I painted. And then I thought, well, I'll make some, partitions. So I made those with some bookboard and put those in, and I'm going to, of course, add embellishments to all of the pockets, and some of this is a French clock face. Just different things, primarily a lot I'll be making. In fact, I've made a lot of them, just haven't applied them yet. I've got little keys in this one, and I'm going to do little distressed paper clips and things. I had to leave, it was a little tricky because the lid goes inside. I could have actually left it outside, but then I would have had to figure out a fastener, and that was trouble. So I cut off inside a space so that the lid would fit inside there. So when it closes, it fits very nicely. So that's going to be an embellishment box. I've made and have all the embellishments, so it'll be completely filled, and of course you'll find that on in my shop. I'll just be quiet a minute and see if the birds want to say goodbye. As I said before, we live very close to a lot of military bases, and when the planes go over, the birds often stop singing. Anyway, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.